We usually think of AI as a tool that works for us, right? But what happens when AI agents need to work with each other? And not just work with each other, but actually pay each other to get things done. Well, today we're going to dive into the foundational tech that could power a brand new, totally autonomous economy of AIs. You know, this isn't some far-off science fiction dream. It's really just an engineering problem we have to solve. We've already got these super specialized AIs, but the thing they're missing is a way to collaborate financially. We are right on the edge of an economy where AI agents aren't just tools in a box, but active participants. So what in the world is this agentic economy? Well, to put it simply, it's a system where specialized AI agents can find, hire, and pay other agents to do jobs for them. And the key part? It all happens without a human having to step in and approve every little transaction. See, a single general-purpose AI just can't be an expert in everything. So imagine a research agent that's analyzing the stock market. It's already pretty powerful, sure, but it becomes a superpower if it can instantly hire a specialist agent for sentiment analysis and another one to pull in real-time data. This kind of on-the-fly collaboration is really the key to solving incredibly complex problems. It's a fantastic vision, right? But there's this one huge roadblock. The way we've built all of our digital financial systems, they're fundamentally designed for humans, not for machines that need to talk to each other thousands of times a minute. And this brings us right to the heart of the problem. How on earth can we handle millions, maybe billions, of tiny little payments between anonymous machines instantly without a person needing to click approve on every single one? Our financial world is built for us. It runs on things like invoices, monthly subscriptions, credit cards, and these are all pretty slow, high-friction processes. AI agents, they need the complete opposite. They need to be autonomous. They need instant micropayments that settle on the spot for just a single task. So to solve this, we're going to need a totally new kind of tool. And this brings us to the first piece of the puzzle, a payment protocol that's built directly into the language of the web itself. It's called the X402 protocol. The beauty of X402 is just how simple it is. You see, the web has had this 402 payment required error code just sitting there, reserved for future use, for decades. And now it's being dusted off to create this universal pay-as-you-go system for APIs. No more subscriptions, no pre-funded accounts, just payment right when you need it. Okay, think of it like a vending machine for data. The AI agent walks up and asks for a service. The server, the vending machine, responds and says, hey, that'll be 10 cents, right? It issues that 402 payment required challenge. The agent then creates a secure, one-time digital signature authorizing just that payment, sends it back, and boom, instantly gets the data it asked for. It's a complete, automated transaction that happens in a flash. And this isn't just a theory. A platform called WasiAI is already building this out on the Avalanche blockchain. They use USDC, which is basically a digital dollar, to keep the prices stable and predictable. Now, the real piece of magic here is a standard called ERC-3009. It allows an agent to authorize the payment without having to do a slow, full-on blockchain transaction every single time. And that's what makes the whole thing fast, cheap, and secure. All right, so we've solved the mechanics of payment. Awesome. But that just reveals a much deeper and honestly a more human problem, trust. How does an agent know who it should pay? How can it possibly be sure the agent is about to hire is actually reliable and not some kind of scam? And this is exactly where the second piece of this essential infrastructure comes into play. If X402 is the payment system, then you can think of ERC-8004 as the digital passport for AI agents. It's what allows them to build a verifiable reputation over time. So what this means is that ERC-8004 gives every single agent a unique ID that lives on the blockchain, and this ID acts like a permanent, unchangeable resume. Every job the agent completes, every payment it earns, and every rating it gets can be cryptographically tied back to this one identity forever. This on-chain identity, meaning a record that's stored publicly and permanently, is so crucial because it creates that public, verifiable track record. An agent can't just claim it's good at its job. It has to prove it with an unchangeable history of successful work. This lets the best agents really stand out, and it makes their reputation portable. They can take it with them from one marketplace to another, just like we would with a resume. Okay, so now we can finally put it all together. We have a way for agents to pay each other using X402, and we have a way for them to trust each other with ERC-8000. And when you combine these two, you unlock a fully autonomous workflow. So here's the endgame in action. An agent needs a task done. It queries a marketplace, filtering for other agents that can do the job and are under its budget. Then it checks their ERC-8004 reputations, their on-chain track records to pick the most reliable one. Finally, it calls that agent's API, pays instantly with X402, and gets the result. This entire chain can happen in milliseconds, creating these incredibly complex and powerful workflows completely on the fly. Ultimately, it's that combination that's just so incredibly powerful. Payments without identity is basically a lottery. You don't know who you're dealing with. And identity without payments is pretty useless. But together, these two protocols, X402 and ERC-8004, they really are the foundational pillars for a truly decentralized autonomous economy run by AI. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. We've laid the groundwork for the nuts and bolts of payments and identity. But what about the really hard, messy social problems? How are we going to handle disputes when an agent does a bad job? Who gets to govern these marketplaces? Solving these next-level challenges, well, that's the true frontier for the agentic economy.